There's a reason your fuel bill keeps creeping up every month. And it's not just gas prices. In many cases, drivers are unknowingly wasting $300 to $800 every year, just from small habits at the gas station and on the road. And here's the uncomfortable part. You're probably doing at least 3 of these things every week. Something is happening that most drivers don't realize. From the way you pump fuel, to how your car behaves right after refueling. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly where that money is going, and how to stop losing it immediately, and stay until the end. Because the #1 mistake isn't at the pump. It's something almost every driver does after they leave the station, and it quietly drains more fuel than anything else on this list. Number 15. The fast pumping mistake. Most drivers don't realize how fast you pump gas actually affects how much fuel you get. Squeezing the handle fully and pumping at maximum speed. Fuel systems aren't perfectly stable under high flow. At faster speeds, fuel agitation increases and vapor pockets form inside the nozzle. That vapor displaces liquid fuel, meaning you're paying for volume that isn't fully liquid. Testing from the National Institute of Standards and Technology shows that slower dispensing improves accuracy in fuel measurement. Real consequences. You can lose 2 to 6% of actual fuel volume. That's easily 1 full tank per year for the average driver. Simple fix. Use the lowest or middle pump setting. It takes a few seconds longer, but gives you more actual fuel. But the next one is even more common. Number 14. Refueling during peak heat. Fuel expands with temperature. Filling up during the hottest part of the day. Gasoline is stored underground where it's cooler. But as it travels through the pump and nozzle in hot conditions, it expands slightly. You're buying fuel by volume, not density. Data referenced by the U.S. Department of Energy confirms fuel density changes with temperature, affecting energy content per gallon. Real consequences. Less energy per gallon equals more frequent refueling. Over time, this can mean 1 to 3% more fuel consumption annually. Simple fix. Fill up early morning or late evening when temperatures are lower. Number 13. Topping off after the click. That extra squeeze after the pump clicks is costing them. Continuing to pump fuel after the automatic shutoff. Your fuel system is designed with a vapor recovery system. When you overfill, liquid fuel enters areas meant for vapor. This can damage the charcoal canister and disrupt pressure balance. The Environmental Protection Agency warns that topping off can damage emission systems. Real consequences. Reduced fuel efficiency. Possible EVAP system repairs, $200 to $800. Fuel wasted through overflow or evaporation. Simple fix. Stop at the first click, always. Number 12. Using the wrong octane, just in case. Premium fuel doesn't mean better performance for most engines. Paying extra for high-octane fuel in engines that don't need it. Octane rating only measures resistance to knocking. If your engine isn't designed for it, higher octane does nothing extra. The U.S. Department of Energy clearly states, using higher octane than required does not improve fuel economy. Real consequences. You're paying 30 cents to 80 cents more per gallon. That's $200 to $500 wasted per year for no benefit. Simple fix. Use exactly what your owner's manual recommends. No more. Number 11. Letting your tank drop too low. Running low on fuel isn't just risky, it's inefficient. Driving until the tank is nearly empty. Fuel pumps rely on gasoline for cooling. Low fuel levels increase pump temperature and reduce efficiency. Also, debris at the bottom of the tank becomes more likely to circulate. Real-world mechanic data shows increased fuel pump wear in vehicles consistently driven below 1/4 tank. Real consequences. Reduced fuel system efficiency. Potential fuel pump failure, $800 to $1,500. Slight drop in fuel delivery consistency. Simple fix. Refuel when you hit 1/4 tank, not empty. Number 10. Idling right after refueling. What you do immediately after pumping fuel matters. Letting the engine idle for several minutes after refueling. Modern engines adjust fuel mixture dynamically. When idling, especially after a temperature shift, like refueling, the engine runs slightly richer. That means more fuel burned with no movement. The Department of Energy states idling can use up to ½ a gallon per hour. Real consequences. Even short idle periods add up too. $100 to $300 per year in wasted fuel. Simple fix. Start the engine and drive off smoothly within 30 seconds. Number 9. Accelerating too hard after refueling. The first few minutes after leaving a gas station are some of the worst for fuel economy. Pulling out and accelerating aggressively right away, right after startup or a short stop. The engine is still stabilizing fuel trim and airflow. When you accelerate hard, the ECU enriches the fuel mixture to protect the engine. That means more fuel injected than necessary. The Environmental Protection Agency confirms aggressive acceleration can lower fuel economy by 15 to 30%. Real consequences: immediate fuel waste, long-term carbon buildup, reduced efficiency in city driving. That's easily $200 to $600 per year depending on driving habits. Simple fix. Accelerate gradually for the first 2 to 3 minutes after refueling. Number 8. Ignoring tire pressure. Right at the pump. Your tires are costing you fuel every single mile. Skipping tire pressure checks, even when the air pump is right there. Underinflated tires increase rolling resistance. The engine has to work harder to move the vehicle forward. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, underinflated tires can reduce fuel efficiency by up to 3%. Real consequences: lower MPG, uneven tire wear, higher long-term costs. That's about $100 to $300 per year in wasted fuel. Simple fix. Check tire pressure once a month, especially when refueling. But here's the part most drivers get wrong. Number 7. Checking tire pressure. While tires are hot, checking tire pressure at the wrong time gives you the wrong number. Measuring tire pressure right after driving to the gas station. As tires heat up, air expands. This increases pressure readings by 3 to 5 pounds per square inch. So you think your tires are properly inflated? But once they cool down, they're actually underinflated. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recommends checking tire pressure when tires are cold. Real consequences: hidden underinflation, increased fuel consumption, faster tire wear. Simple fix. Check pressure before driving or after the car has sat for at least 3 hours. Number 6. Using cheap gas from low-turnover stations. Not all gas stations sell fuel of the same quality. Choosing the cheapest station without considering fuel turnover. Stations with low traffic tend to have fuel sitting longer in underground tanks. Over time, fuel can degrade or absorb moisture. Industry fuel storage studies show that stale fuel can lose combustion efficiency and increase deposits. Real consequences: reduced combustion efficiency, injector deposits, lower MPG over time. This can quietly cost 2 to 4% in fuel economy. Simple fix. Choose busy, high-traffic stations where fuel is constantly replenished. Number 5. Ignoring the click-off behavior of the pump. How the pump shuts off tells you something important. Ignoring inconsistent or early click-offs and continuing to pump anyway. The nozzle shuts off based on pressure changes. If it clicks too early or too often, it may indicate vapor buildup or improper flow. Continuing to force fuel in can lead to overflow or inefficient filling. Fuel system design standards highlight automatic shutoff as a safety and accuracy mechanism. Real consequences: incomplete fills, fuel vapor loss, possible EVAP system stress. Simple fix. If the pump behaves unusually, slow down or reposition the nozzle. Don't force it. Number 4. Driving short distances repeatedly. Short trips are one of the biggest fuel killers. Using your car for multiple short drives instead of combining trips. Engines run richer when cold. It takes time to reach optimal operating temperature. Short trips never allow that. The U.S. Department of Energy notes that fuel economy is significantly lower during short trips. Real consequences: up to 20% higher fuel consumption, increased engine wear, more frequent oil contamination. That's easily $300 to $800 per year wasted. Simple fix. Combine errands into one longer trip whenever possible. Number 3. Driving with extra weight you don't need. They're carrying around fuel loss in their trunk every day, leaving unnecessary weight in the car, tools, boxes, water packs, unused cargo. Every extra pound increases the energy required to move the vehicle. The engine has to produce more torque, which means more fuel burned. The U.S. Department of Energy estimates that every additional 100 pounds can reduce fuel economy by about 1%. Real consequences: constant fuel waste, reduced acceleration efficiency, higher strain on brakes and suspension. Over time, this adds up to $100 to $300 per year. Simple fix: remove unnecessary items. Treat your trunk like a workspace. Only carry what you actually use. Number 2. Driving with windows down at highway speed. This one feels like it saves fuel, but often does the opposite. Driving with windows fully open at higher speeds. Open windows disrupt airflow around the vehicle. This increases aerodynamic drag, forcing the engine to work harder. Studies referenced by the Society of Automotive Engineers show that drag increases significantly with open windows at highway speeds. Real consequences: up to 10% worse fuel economy at higher speeds. Increased cabin turbulence, more engine load. That can mean $200 to $500 per year depending on highway driving. Simple fix: at low speeds, windows are fine. At highway speeds, use AC instead of open windows. Number 1. The most expensive habit: unstable driving speed. Most drivers don't realize this single habit is responsible for more fuel waste than anything else on this list. Constantly speeding up and slowing down, even slightly, without noticing. Fuel consumption is directly tied to throttle input. Every time you accelerate, the engine injects more fuel to increase power. Then when you slow down, that energy is lost as heat through braking. You're literally burning fuel just to cancel it out seconds later. Under real driving conditions, this happens constantly, especially in traffic or with distracted driving. The Environmental Protection Agency reports that aggressive or inconsistent driving can reduce fuel economy by up to 30%. Japanese driving studies focus heavily on speed stability as the #1 factor in fuel savings. Not fuel type, not additives. Real consequences: massive fuel waste over time, increased brake wear, higher engine stress. This alone can cost $500 to $1,000 per year for many drivers. The simple fix: drive like this instead. Maintain a steady, predictable speed. Anticipate traffic instead of reacting late. Ease into acceleration instead of sudden throttle inputs. If your car has cruise control, use it on highways. This isn't just smoother driving, it's controlled energy usage. And once you start paying attention to it, you'll realize how often you were wasting fuel without knowing. If you apply even a few of these, you'll start noticing the difference almost immediately, not just in fuel savings, but in how your car feels, responds, and lasts over time. Because in many cases, it's not the engine, it's the habits behind the wheel. Most drivers think saving fuel means buying better gas. But real efficiency comes from how you drive, how you maintain your car, and how you use it every day. That's the part most people overlook. Now I'm curious: which one of these surprised you the most? Or which one have you been doing without realizing? Drop it in the comments. And if this helped you see your car differently, consider subscribing. Because most drivers don't get this kind of insight until it's too late.